All right, I got brother J Rock. We gonna post fight to UFC. I believe was it 165. John Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson in the main event at 205 pounds. That was one of the best fights I ever seen in UFC history. Alexander Gustafsson clearly gave John Jones the toughest fight in his whole entire career. What you think about the fight, bro?
Well, I'm not going to be as politically correct as that. Alexander gave John Jones the business. That's what happened. He outclassed John Jones for 3 straight rounds.
Right.
He was outclassing him for about half of the 4th round. John Jones had been trying that spinning elbow all night because that's all he really had. He kept missing with it. In fact, right before he landed that, I mean, it's kind of Alexander's fault. He knew he was going for it.
Right.
Because he had just attempted it, like not even like 30 seconds before the one he caught him with, and that was John Jones's, just warrior spirit, kind of like his light flashing before his eyes, and realizing that for 3 rounds, Alexander Gustafsson was giving him the business, and he felt like, I'm going to lose my title when, he's supposed to be Mr. Nike, Mr. Gatorade now, Mr.,
Yeah.
high fructose syrup,
Yeah.
poison crap,
Right.
Gatorade. But anyway, that's what happened. I mean, John hurt him. He caught him with the elbow, and then he immediately, John's Muay Thai is legit. He's an awesome Muay Thai fighter. The difference is, Alexander Gustafsson fights as a combination of Lyoto Machida and Anderson Silva.
Right.
I'm sorry, he moves like Anderson Silva, dude, his movement, but he also moves like Lyoto Machida, like with the way he uses his hands, where he puts his hands up like that.
Right.
Lyoto, the only other fight, well, there's fighters who do, but he does it almost like exactly like Lyoto does it. And he runs backward like Lyoto. Like, dude, for as big as Alexander is, he's like as good as Lyoto Machida technically. He's like a master fighter. And better than John Jones, to me, from what I saw, because John Jones left that arena looking like a beat up Street Fighter character. So. I'm sorry, like enter coin to continue, because I mean, for real, look at Alexander's face. He had a cut under the eye, and some orbital damage. You say?
Yeah, he had some orbital damage from the knee of John Jones. I believe it came somewhere in either the 4th or 5th round, somewhere around there. It could have been in the 3rd round. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I remember it was one of those rounds, though.
Yeah, probably the might have been the 4th round.
Yeah, because I remember he was actually landing more strikes, more in the 5th round and some in the 4th round. But it seemed like from rounds 1 to 3, man, John Jones couldn't really get at the dude.
For round 4, Alexander was outboxing him until he hurt him. You know what I mean? And then, like, it's like in Fight Night, the video game, when the guy catches you and rocks you.
Right.
Okay, and it's all daisy, and everything's in slow motion, and you hear your heartbeat,
right,
and the guy's pounding on you, and you're trying, you're surviving.
Yeah.
Does that necessarily mean you lose the fight? No, you end up, if you outbox the guy, you win the fight, statistically.
Right.
And that's what happened. Alex, got rocked, and, he was hurt, but, dude, he shook that off like he pushed off to the right and ran back to center, recouping as he was, gathering his senses back into fight mode.
Right.
That elbow would have dropped any other fighter. Imagine any other fighter, name one, in the light heavyweight division that would have caught that elbow and not fell on their face.
I believe you, man. And, Gustafsson, man, that dude has I even remember hearing Joe Rogan saying it so much throughout the fight. That dude's chin was unreal.
His whole head is unreal, dude. What are you talking about?
His fucking chin is ridiculous, dude. Taking those shots, and I mean, I thought it was an amazing fight, man. But look, I gotta be blatantly honest because I keep it real. I thought John Jones lost the fight. And
yes, sir.
I scored it. 49-46. Now, the fourth round, I'm not gonna lie, I thought was very close. You could have like, I mean, even if you would have gave it to John Jones, you still, in my opinion, you still would have had 3 rounds to 2 against John Jones.
Right.
But the judges saw it. The first 2 judges was 49-49 draw. Second judge, 49-49 draw. And then the third judge, I believe, was 46. And I was actually talking to a friend of mine. He was telling me that those 2 judges that had it 49-49, they gave it, out of the 5 rounds, they gave it 2 rounds to Jones, 2 rounds to Gustafsson, and the other round was a split round. It could have went either way.
You know what? All that stuff is slick, okay? Let me tell you something, okay? Because the things that I see, it's... Okay. They had, UFC's, marketing and department and all their media department and all that is very, very slick. Because if you watch the fight, it's the Alexander Gustafsson show. It's watch this tall white boy move around like Anderson Silva, move. You know what I mean? Like Muhammad Ali bouncing around. I mean, John Jones is the black dude. He's the one you expect to have that kind of rhythm and that. But John Jones is moving forward like a Muay Thai boxer, kind of.
Right.
He's got. He's in the typical Muay Thai stance. That's kind of his normal stance, and he comes forward. He's got some lateral movement, but dude, you can't hit a target that's not moving like that.
Right.
And this guy, he's just not moving, running. Like, he's got fluidity, rhythm, like water. Like what John said after the fight. He goes, I should have been like water. In other words, I should have been like Alex.
Yeah, it was crazy to me, man, that I believe out of, I want to say it was like 10 or 11 takedown attempts, John Jones is able to only effectively get 1 takedown. And I believe I want to say he took down John Jones, was it 2 times? I could be wrong on that. Do you remember?
Almost 3. Because
almost 3, yeah.
He pushed John off and John fell down to a knee but got up.
So what
he pushed John. Listen, he pushed John. We pushed John off of him. Like when John had, did his last hurrah and was doing that, level 3, Sagat. That's what that was. He saved his level 3 super to the 4th round and tried to catch Alex slipping.
Right.
And he did catch him. He was, he went for it. He was hitting him, tagging him. The thing is, Alex, after all of that, Alex was against the cage, and he just pushes John off, like, get off me.
Right.
And then he runs around him again and made John fight again. Like, he endured that. Like, okay, you know what I hear too? That's false. Is people telling me he almost had him finished in the 4th round, man. he almost had. I said that's your definition of finish, dude. I say finish to me is when a guy gets caught with that elbow, drops down to his on his hands. John jumps on his back, starts ground and pounding the crap out of his side of his face, and the ref is right there, like waiting, to just call it over. You know what I'm saying? That's and for some reason the round ends and they don't call it a TKO.
Right.
Because that's almost finishing somebody. Just because he hurt Alex and Alex got rocked, and yeah, he was getting rocked, he was coming back to his senses. I mean, he shook it off. That's not almost getting finished, man. I mean, if he had got knocked on the ground and was getting mauled, then you can say that.
I feel you. So did you ever expect Gustafsson to really actually take down John Jones for the first time in his career?
Man, I don't think there's anybody in the world that expected Alexander Gustafsson to be that good.
Yeah, and he like physically like wore him down. You know, like, you could clearly see it on the way how he was moving around the octagon. But
Dude, you know
could
what's
see his
beautiful
face.
about this? Listen. You know what's beautiful about this to me? Okay, is John Jones he's a legit martial artist. He's a legit champion. He's all that, but he's also immature and very arrogant. And he's also, there's a part of John's character that's not that cool, you know, smiling, hey, drink Gatorade, hey, here's where my Nikes, you know, kind of a guy. He's all those other, like Rashad Evans, all those people who have, you know, talked about John Jones, you know, they're not saying those things for no reason. They all know, like, there's another side to John that, you know, he doesn't show the public.
Right.
But he like, matter of fact, just the whole build up to this fight, how he was just disregarding Alex the whole time. Like, I've seen Alexander's, you know, moves and stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen the holes in this game.
Yeah,
and,
I was watching that too.
yeah. He's talking about him like that. He's like, you know, and I'm just ready to go in there and show my greatness, and you know, when Johnny Buns Jones, like Gatorade chose me, and you know, I wear Nikes and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he got freaking like, dude, I don't know, he looked like a train hit him.
Yeah, and then I found out, and I actually found out later, man, that, see, I just found this out today, that they actually had to carry him out the arena and bring him to a hospital. And I remember if I'm correct, you told me that you watched the post-fight press conference and none of them was there.
No, the only one that was there was Barrea with his belt, like.
And Dana White.
Barrea, dude, Barrea is a beast, dog.
Hey, did you watch the prelims?
I did.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
I didn't get a chance to.
Man, dude, there was this one fighter, man. I totally forgot his name. He beat the guy was Hawaiian. He was undefeated. He was like 11-0. I don't remember his name, but he kind of had he had like a high and tight haircut. He had some chin hair, and the guy that he submitted the shit out of him, dude. Like,
there was a lot of goofy looking fighters on the prelim card.
Yeah, man, but this dude that submitted that guy, I mean, god dog, dude.
What about him?
He submitted him, and he submitted him to the point where, like, after he had gotten up, a whole shitload of blood was coming out of the dude's mouth. Like, he was like gurgling on it. And it was it was like a weird kind of submission, man, but
that's terrible.
Yeah. I don't know if I totally forgot.
Was it illegal? Like,
oh yeah, it was legal. It was in the prelims though, but I totally forgot the dude's name, man. I'm gonna have to go look it up, but
winner by blood clot.
Yeah, dude, man, that shit was. I was like, damn, dude, I didn't expect that shit. I mean, but
dude, you know what? That's like, you know, like brutal things, like the way Lyoto got dropped like a sack of potatoes by John Jones.
Dude, he looked lifeless, man. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh yeah, he looked like his spirit had left his body.
Like that spirit of the dragon had left him.
I mean, I don't feel sorry for John Jones, because like I said, Lyoto Machino is one of my favorite fighters, and that's what he did to John. The only reason he did that to Lyoto is because he's bigger than Lyoto. If Lyoto was Alexander's size, Lyoto would whoop his ass.
Right.
Oh, dude, he would embarrass him because he has the technical prowess to do so.
Yeah.
It's just that John has high technical ability, high wrestling ability. He's a great fighter, but he has a size advantage against these other guys.
He's got a reach too, pretty good,
yeah,
damn good reach.
He's skinny, he's lanky, he's perfect. Like, you know, against guys that are smaller than him.
How tall is the dude?
John is 6'4".
Damn.
And Gustafsson is 6'5".
Damn.
And is a bigger, heavier guy and can move around better than him. He's like, John, this is how you move, man. This is how you duck punches, like moving his head around. He was making John whip, dude.
I know, dude.
I'm talking about his reflexes, like, and then not only would he didn't only dodge punches, dude, but he countered.
Yeah.
He would duck and just bomb. Like, I only see Anderson Silva do that.
Right. I was pretty shocked, man, to see him get, like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know too much about the guy. I actually did had to go back and watch, you know, some of his fights. I watched his debut fight, and I watched a fight before he fought John Jones. I forgot the guy's name, but I thought the guy had really good striking because, you know, he was knocking dudes out, and, you know, he was a pretty good, you know, I knew that John Jones had a better ground and pound and wrestling game, but I didn't really expect Gustafsson to do what he did to John Jones, man.
Yeah, John Jones didn't either.
Yeah, man. So going forward, do you know if the rematch is set in stone?
Hey, man, the public will demand that rematch. They will have no choice but to answer the cry of the media and the people. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Exactly, man. So I hope the rematch can happen, man. I believe, you know, 100% that Gustafsson deserves the rematch. I hope that, I would hate to see, like, you know, if for some reason the rematch doesn't happen, and then, like, now you see Gustafsson lose his #1 contender, and now he drops, like, now, like, he'll drop down pretty low, and it's gonna take a while for him to get another title shot.
Hell no, man. Hell no.
So is he gonna stay #1 contender no matter what?
Dude, of course, man. He's listen. Alexander is the true UFC light heavyweight champion, okay? And I don't give a damn about any bias or anything like that. I'm a true fan of mixed martial arts. Like, I don't, you know, I respect John. I respect Alex. I judge fights based off fighting.
Right.
Which warrior won the fight? Okay, and I don't give a damn that the judges gave the belt unanimously to John Jones, because everybody in the world knows that's bull.
Right.
Okay, Alexander was like, "Hey, John, you need a hand?" Like, basically out of the ring. Because after the match, you know, they hugged and talked, and John could barely stand, and you know, Alexander was, you know, trying to talk to him, but realizing that he jacked the guy up.
Right. And it was kind of crazy too, man. I'm like watching. Well, I remember it was like round 4, and I'm like, "Fuck, man, John Jones is gonna have to knock this dude out or submit his ass, man." Because I knew deep down inside, man. I'm like, he's already.
Joe Rogan said that same thing in the 4th round.
And I was like, dude, he's already, in my eyes, he's done more than enough to already win the fight. So, and then at that point, you know, Jones was so tired. I mean, he couldn't even hardly move around the ring, man. I mean, like, I remember, like, I have never seen him in that state. I remember him going, you know, back to his corner, and Greg Jackson was trying to, you know, talk to him.
That wasn't Greg. It was his assistant.
Oh, the assistant. I'm sorry. And and damn, it looked like him though. But anyways,
yeah, look alike.
Yeah. But anyways, dude, I've never seen him look like that state ever, man.
Looking like Apollo Creed getting beat up by Rocky. Remember? Cut me.
Oh man.
Don't stop this fight. Ain't gonna be no rematch.
Pain.
Yeah.
But anyways, man, it was a good ass fight.
Yep.
You got anything else you want to add?
I do want to point out one thing that I don't think I got to. Okay. I brought it up earlier, but the media aspect, UFC's. Look, man, I am suspect of the UFC's business tactics. Okay, I just am of the sport in some kind of ways. Like, I don't trust them. Okay, I know Dana comes out, he's a straightforward guy and all that, but I don't trust Dana. I like Dana White, I respect him, but I don't trust him.
Right.
He's a businessman, dude. He's of the worst kind, a promoter. You're gonna trust a promoter?
Okay.
Look.
All right. So let me ask you this: like, compare.
Wait,
No, go ahead.
What I'm trying to get at is this: is the fact that They're interviewing John about his victory, and they got all this edited video of the fight. And then if you went off just the editing of the video, it made it look like John was kicking Alex's ass. It was showing every elbow that John landed, and every time that he landed a hit. It didn't show the other 1,000 lashings John took. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was like they edited. I'm telling you, it's a subconscious influence, like the way that they edit things, like when they want to, UFC. I don't know, man. It's just I find that too damn convenient. I mean, that they didn't show anything Alex did. They had, they edited it really slick. They made it look like John dominated the fight. When if you actually watch the fight, that's clearly not what happened.
Right. Yeah, man. I thought he beat him.
Oh, here's another thing. Okay. I saw the original CompuStrike statistical data of the fight, and Alexander destroyed him on significant strikes, overall strikes, counting the takedowns, defenses, and the takedowns that he got. Okay?
Okay.
And by the afternoon, there was already rumors that the UFC had skewed the numbers, had taken the original data stat page down and put it up with new numbers, and that supposedly a bunch of people took snapshots of it to prove it.
Oh,
so
okay.
If that's true,
then we know who really won the fight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But it also exploits the UFC's antics.
Right.
And then you can't trust them at that point, or the sport if they're acting like that. If they're trying to defend their Nike Gatorade product, for real.
Yeah.
For real. I mean, how embarrassing, dude. He got beat. How embarrassing is it for he just got the Gatorade. He's supposed to be the star. UFC wants to grow as big as boxing.
Right.
And that's what they resort to,
So let me ask you this, man. Compare Dana White to Bob Arum. How would you see those differences?
Bob Arum, is his own piece of work. He's his own demon. And Dana White's his own demon. Dana White's got his own motives. Dana White's been hustling in the MMA businesses back in the day. Like when, he was, dude, he's a promoter, man. Dana White used to roll around with Chuck Liddell back in the Pride days, from the UFC as his promoter, just to prove that his fighter was the best at that weight weight class, which I think was middleweight when he was fighting Pride. And he actually went in there and became the champion.
Yeah, I remember.
So Dana White's ride to stardom and all that. He's been a hustler and a businessman all along.
And then Rampage beat him in Pride too. Remember?
Yeah.
And then Chuck Liddell was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna try to get my revenge on him." But then we all know what happened there. Rampage knocked his ass out, and that was that.
Yep, he got conundered.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, man, that was a pretty interesting topic you brought up about the media and the UFC. Maybe we'll have to
just peep game, just watch. I'm telling people, let go of bias. It doesn't benefit any person to attach themselves to some other person. You can't live vicariously through other people. You can respect what they do, but when people for some reason emotionally attach themselves to somebody, they become their personal hero. They take it's like some people can't admit when they're wrong. They can't admit when their guy lost either.
Right.
If you claim to be a true fan, whether you're a boxing fan or a mixed martial arts fan, just be honest about what happened. If you're a true fan of sport. And that's it.
Yeah, I got you. And you always got to stand by, your fighter through victory and defeat. You know what I'm saying? I know, and I think, what I've been seeing a lot too is that, a lot of people, were liking John Jones when he was winning. But then when they thought that he lost this fight, all of a sudden, now all of a sudden they start, shitting on him. But I don't
Oh,
necessarily,
dude,
you know.
you know the worst case of that happened to Anderson Silva.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's been getting disrespected by every racist white kid from freaking Anaheim to Brooklyn, dude. I mean, not even that, in Europe.
But you know what though? That's okay because he's gonna beat his ass in the rematch.
Dude, Anderson, I don't know why I think this, but I think Anderson knew Chris's circumstances in his life. And knew that, you know what I'm saying? Also, like, there's still a rumor in Brazil that Anderson bet on himself to lose the fight and made a shitload of money.
Oh, really?
That's actually an underground rumor that I keep hearing about from people who say that some Brazilians keep talking about that.
Is the rematch going to be in Brazil or is it going to be in the U.S.?
It'll be back in Vegas.
In Vegas, right? Yeah, okay.
Probably. They're not.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, if it went to Brazil, he'd destroy them for real.
Yeah. But anyways.
But you know what? Hey, one quick thing.
Yeah.
Chris Weidman is, Chris Weidman is a pretty arrogant guy, too.
Okay.
And, he doesn't respect Anderson at all. He acts like, and if we both saw the same fight, man.
Right.
And we both get the same, and I respect your analysis because I think you give fair analysis. You're not somebody you're not biased at all.
Right.
And that's why you're a good, analyzer. And Anderson could have dropped that guy at any moment. Okay, but there's this part of me that just thinks that he let Chris beat him. Maybe he didn't expect to get beat like that, but he was going to let him win because it would change his life. Because he knew the guy, his house got flooded out in a storm. Dude was poor. He was, I like I said, man, Anderson being my favorite fighter, and like I said, and I say he's my favorite fighter because I followed his career for a long time.
Right.
And Chris is a good guy, and the situation in his story was a good story, and I didn't feel bad when Anderson lost. Like, some people, when their football team loses the Super Bowl, like, yell at their wife or get pissed off.
Yeah.
At the world, they take it so personal. I used to work for a guy. I had a boss like that. It sucked when his team lost. But people, they wear it on their shoulder and whatever, and it's just silly.
It's crazy, man. It's really crazy nowadays. People have so much. I see this in boxing a lot too, man. People get so emotionally attached to a fighter, but it's like they don't want to stand by their fighter through defeat. They only want to stand by their fighter through victory. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's why you gotta be a Floyd Mayweather. You gotta be if you're a star or something like that, you gotta say fuck everybody, man, because that way you never get set up for failure. So when you do lose, you don't care what they think, because most people, the first thing when they lose, be like, what do they do? I want to thank all my fans while they're getting booed, like, boo!
Right. At that point, nobody's going to give a shit.
That hurts your feelings as an athlete when everybody turns on you, but dude, we live in a piece of crap society that you better win or else.
It's funny, man, but it's true. Listen, man, if Floyd Mayweather was to lose, his stock would drop tremendously. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't never gonna fall, man. There's nobody that can touch. The only boxer I see that can get at Floyd Mayweather is Adrian Broner.
I think he would beat the shit out of Broner. I
don't think he would beat the shit out of Broner, dude. Broner is just, his boxing skill is elite. He's not a I'm telling you, Floyd. I don't know. Floyd doesn't. I don't know.
I tell you what. I think I know who would. I got to see somebody, beat him. Like me personally, I got to see somebody actually beat him until I could be honestly confident, to say, I think he's going to lose in a fight. But I think a guy who would give him problems is Keith Thurman.
Yeah, Keith Thurman's power, but
No, not even the power, because of his his style. Like, he's very unpredictable, and like
now go ahead.
You remember when Floyd fought Miguel Cotto, and at the end of the fight, he didn't really look really tired, but he was talking about saying like how, he was like, damn man, I mean during that fight, man, I wanted to retire, like in the middle of the ring that night or some shit. He was like, I wanted to retire like right then and there, and, because I believe he was saying something about like how, man, I can't remember. I could be wrong. It might have been Cotto or somebody else.
Yeah, he outclassed Cotto.
Yeah. But he was like, it took a while for him to figure him out, because his style. He said that his style was unpredictable. Like, it took a while, for him to actually figure out like what he was really trying to do. So I think Keith Thurman's style, like if you go back and watch that fight with Diego Chavez, like it would look like he would do like a right hook to the body, like a body punch. All out of nowhere, you would see him coming up with a really wide looping left hook that knock his ass the fuck out.
Keith Thurman moves a lot, and he goes on different angles. He's not a stationary fighter at all. No. He's a very exciting fighter. I mean, I wish, hell, I'd watch that fight.
Oh yeah, I would too. It could possibly happen down the line. I know he's the mandatory for Broner's WBA belt, but he's talking about, they're saying he's getting ready to fight Robert Guerrero and shit.
Hey, do you think that Adrian Broner tries to be like Floyd Mayweather, like mimic him, his character?
I think character, yes. I mean, I know that he trains with Roger, so maybe Roger was I mean, he was doing the shoulder roll for like a while, so.
Oh, that's part of his own unique style. He has a unique style. I'm telling you, man, Adrian Broner's an elite boxer.
Yeah. But yeah, man. But we'll chop it up and do another video. Yeah. We getting over 30 minutes, but yeah, we're getting through some good stuff. But yeah, we'll do a video on that some other time, man. And hopefully,
definitely, man.
Hopefully, this rematch happens with what's his name? Gustafsson and Jones.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't know how long it would take, man, because
Johnny Broken Bones Jones.
It might be a while, man. For those,
I heard he hurt his foot too.
Yeah.
His toe.
I think it's going to be a while for those two guys to get fully healed and shit. So I see it probably happening sometime next year if it goes down.
Yeah.
But we'll probably do some more in-depth talk about GSP fight, any other big fights coming up. I'm pretty sure we'll get down to the meat and potatoes of it.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
All right, man. I appreciate it, man.
No doubt.
All right, man. You guys take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
One.
Yep.